distance from the rubber to home plate is 60 feet 6 inches. Subtracting 5 or 6 feet to account for the pitcher's stride, it takes a fastball traveling at 90 to 95 miles an hour about 400 milliseconds to get from the pitcher's hand to the catcher's mitt. The batter is already at a disadvantage because it takes the human brain around 80 to 100 milliseconds just to process the image that the eyes are taking in. On top, hitters begin predicting the trajectory of the ball based on the movement of the pitcher's arm before it even leaves his hand. This makes up for the fact that he won't actually see the pitch until it's a quarter of the way towards him. He won't actually see the pitch until it's a quarter of the way towards him. He won't actually see the pitch until it's a quarter of the way towards him.
Okay, what you were just watching was another scientific description explaining to the audience that batters don't really see the ball out of the pitcher's hand. Sometimes for our baseball and softball communities, we've been so conditioned to believe what we're told, and what looks like the obvious is that I know it's coming out of his hand, so I will therefore see it out of his hand. Well, that's fine when you're playing youth, little league, tiny little league baseball, 5, 6, 7. Even when you get up to the faster pitching of 9, 10, 11, 12-year-olds, batters don't see the ball out of the hand. And then you move to the highest levels of professional baseball, and even under that collegiate baseball, high school baseball. I mean, realistically, when a pitcher is in external position, here's a picture of a pitcher who's in an external arm position, like a catapult. It's going to go from external very quickly into internal position when he lets it go. Believe me, we don't see that. And taking it a step further, it's almost laughable to me now when I look at it when coaches would tell me as a player, well Dave, when the pitcher's showing you a thin, skinny wrist, you're going to see a curveball. Well, here's some pictures of a skinny wrist curveball coming at you. And by that time, even if you could, it's basically over. Again, here's some clips of Brian Dozier hitting off the pitcher Jones. If he could see the curveball coming, out of his hand, why in the world is he striking out? I mean, really, if you see it coming, then you're not fooled. Then we should definitely be able to avoid swinging at a ball that's going into the dirt. But the truth is, we don't pick the ball up just like the description says, not till it's somewhere maybe around a quarter point, a quarter of the way in its flight path to the batter. What can challenge this notion that sports science is presenting to us? Wait a minute, now I can sit at a pitcher's hand, Dave. When I watch videotape of in normal speed, not slow down speed, but normal speed, a pitcher's throwing the ball, you can see it come out of their hand. A lot of times that film the video is shot in 60, frames per second, and you can see it. And it's not what we normally see. It's not natural. I even question when we see a video played back in normal speed, it was filmed in 30 frames per second. I still have my doubts in the integrity of that and validity, how natural it is to what we actually see when we're batting at home plate. So gauging from a typical high school, college player, if a pitcher is 6 feet tall and he strides 6 feet off the mound, he now is at the 54-foot marker. When he lets the ball go, we can safely contemplate, well, he's not going to see it for another 4, 5, or 6 feet. So now we're going to put it at but the 48-foot marker. Let's just basically round up to 50 feet away. If you're hitting good, you can see the ball 50 feet away. And that's if you're hitting good. But if you're not hitting so well, maybe now you're picking the ball up at the 46-foot marker, the 45-foot marker, the 44-foot marker. How about 40 feet away? And that's where when we look at our batters, we see signs of desperation. They're doing anything they can to get the bat down there because their mind doesn't have enough time to process what's going to happen. Their mind doesn't have enough time to process to get the body to engage with where the ball is going next. This is why it's so important to have good swing techniques and good playing angles, and that's where the best hitting drill ever comes into play, because it helps to put the batter in positions to have good attack angles on the ball. And secondly, this is where the world's greatest hitting formula comes into play, largely because the batter knows how to put his vision in place to see the ball early in the flight path and have his adrenaline in place to get his body under control to make the better reaction. So the question came up when I was talking to a player development director from a major league team that asked me, so Dave, does your formula help our hitters make better choices and pitch selection during the game? And the simple answer is yes. The techniques that most coaches use from major league level down to the little league level to have better pitch selection and make better choices at home plate are very archaic and very simple and bland. This is an actual technique that we teach you how to time your vision that will help you to pick up the ball earlier in flight path, that will in turn give you more control of pitch selection. Look, you know you love your players, you love your sons and daughters. The clock is ticking. They only have so many good years to play this game. Invest in knowledge. Knowledge will always increase in value. Lord bless you.